In this video, I want to calculate the natural frequency of the system that you see here. And what this system is a block with a massive M connected with a string. The string connects over a pulley, and on the other side is connected to a spring. The spring has a stiffness of K. The pulley has an inertia of I and a radius of R, and it's spinning clockwise. And we are going to assume X, the positive direction X, is going to be down. Now, what we need to do is calculate the natural frequency, and the natural frequency, omega n, is going to be equal to the square root of K over M. Here, K is going to be the spring constant, and M is going to be the mass. So what we want to do is we want to use our equations of motion in order to figure out our spring constant and mass. And our equation of motion with a spring system is going to be mx double dot, there's your mass times your acceleration, plus kx, here's your spring force, is equal to 0. And you might see it written as mx double dot is equal to minus kx. Now let's talk about a spring force. And the force of a spring, F of S, is going to be equal to minus kx. And let's look at this in a little bit more detail. So first, let's say I have a spring, and the spring has some initial unstretched length. So when no force is applied to it, this is the equilibrium position of the spring. Now, I apply a force to the spring. Let's say I have some force here, and what this does is it makes my spring stretch a bit. And when my spring stretches, the distance from here to here, the amount that my spring stretches, we're just going to call right now x. This x is equal to this x, which is the amount of stretch or compression that the spring has. Additionally, the spring is going to have a restoring force that is going to want to bring it back to equilibrium. So this is what you would put on your free body diagram if you have a spring, a force that brings it back to its unstretched length. If you're able to assume the correct direction, and you can see that, you don't need to deal with this minus sign right here. You can just say f of s is equal to kx, because you've taken care of this minus sign with this assumed direction. If you're wrong on the assumed direction, you will be wrong on the spring force. Now, let's say you don't do that. An alternative way is to look at the positive direction of the problem. So let's say I said positive is to the left, and let's say I do have that restoring force. Well, this is still okay, but you do need to see that, okay, my spring has stretched, and I'll do it in red. My spring has stretched this way. So this is actually in the negative direction. So then this x is not just x, it's going to be minus x. And those negative signs will cancel out. If you use this approach with the minus x and this sign right here, then if you get a negative answer for your spring force, it just means you've assumed the wrong direction. So we want to draw the free body diagram because we want to calculate the natural frequency. So for the free body diagram, we're going to have a free body diagram of my pulley. And we're going to have a free body diagram of my mass. Now, pulley systems and two masses, and they're a bit tough because we want to draw a free body diagram from an equilibrium position. So what does that mean? That means we have put this mass on the pulley, and the spring stretches some distance from here to here, right? So we've stretched some position. And I'm just exaggerating that. Let's assume the string is already stretched. But that's what's happening. When I put the mass on it, that spring stretches. So when we're drawing the free body diagram of the mass, we don't want to put any of those static forces such as mg on it, because this mg is already taken up by this spring. So the only force we have on this spring is this tension right here. Now when we look at the cylinder, we have a tension that goes down, right? These tensions are the same. And over here, we have a spring force. And this is where we need to be careful about which way the spring force points. So if spring is stretching this way, that means my spring force is going to want to restore it and point downward. So we're going to say this is my force of the spring. And these are the only forces I have. This has some mass, and this has some inertia. So this is just spinning, and this is moving up and down. So that means for my mass, I can use the sum of my forces is equal to mass times my acceleration. And we've said that down is positive. So down is positive. I'm going to have minus t is equal to m times my acceleration. I'm going to have t is equal to minus m times my acceleration. I'll need this later. Okay, so now let's do the equations of motion for the pulley. And with this pulley, I have the sum of my moments going this way, that's the way I'm rotating, is going to be equal to my moment of inertia times my angular acceleration. So what do I have here? I'm going to have minus Fs times r. That's how far away. That's the radius of this pulley. And then I'm going to have plus t times r is equal to I times my angular acceleration. Now we have another equivalent expression for our angular acceleration. My acceleration is going to be equal to r times my angular acceleration. I can solve for my angular acceleration, and I can get my angular acceleration is equal to my acceleration, x double dot, over r, and now I can put that into this equation right here. So we're going to have minus f of s times r plus t times r is equal to I times x double dot, my acceleration, over r. Now let me multiply r by both across, so I get it out of the denominator, move I to the other side of the equation, and what I'll get is minus fs r squared plus t times r squared minus I x double dot is equal to 0. And now I can also substitute my expression for f of s and my expression for t. And now for f of s, we want to use what we learned up here. Now, I've assumed that it has a restoring force, so I can use either of these equations, and I'll show you right now that I get the same answer. So if I just say f of s is equal to k times x, that's fine. I'm going to have minus k times x times r squared plus, actually that's going to be a minus because I'm going to substitute this t in from over here. So minus mx double dot r squared minus I x double dot is equal to 0. Alternatively, I could have used f of s is equal to minus kx, and if I did that, I would say going down is my positive direction. So when I stretch in a minus x direction. So this is minus x. So my spring force is equal to minus k times a minus x. These become positive, and I get this is also kx, so nothing changes right there. Now, my next step is I'm going to just multiply by -1 to get all positive numbers. And finally, I'm going to rearrange this in a specific way. I'm going to take my accelerations and put them together. So I'm going to have m r squared plus I times x double dot. And I'm going to just write this in a way that I have plus kr squared x is equal to 0. Now, this is my mass, my equivalent mass. This right here is my spring constant, right? This is equal to kx. And if I look at my natural frequency is the square root of k over mass. So this is going to be equal to the square root of k, which is k r squared, over mass, which is m r squared plus I. So right here is the natural frequency of this system.